Word prompt, NO headings. Create an ultra-detailed, hyper-realistic, fully immersive cinematic environment designed to push visual storytelling and photorealistic rendering to its absolute limit, capturing a world so rich in texture, lighting physics, atmospheric precision, and micro-details that every frame feels like a real photograph taken with an 8K ultra-dynamic range camera. The scene unfolds inside an expansive, meticulously designed hyper-luxury architectural environment inspired by modern European minimalism blended with futuristic engineering, where every material, reflection, shadow, and structural element is crafted with absolute realism, physical accuracy, and visual perfection. The air inside the environment feels tangible, with micro-dust particles floating slowly through volumetric beams of diffused sunlight entering through massive floor-to-ceiling glass panels, their surfaces so flawlessly cleaned and perfectly transparent that subtle reflections, ghosted highlights, and environmental refractions appear naturally at every viewing angle. The ground consists of polished white marble with soft gray natural veining, so glossy and perfectly refined that it mirrors the world above it with absolute clarity, showing distortion-free reflections, subtle imperfections, and minuscule texture variations that react to light from different directions. The entire environment is illuminated with layered lighting, a blend of soft ambient skylight entering from architectural skylights, indirect bounce lighting reflecting off white interior surfaces, diffused artificial lighting embedded seamlessly into the ceiling structure, and subtle underglow floor lighting placed strategically along minimalist baseboards. Each light source obeys realistic physics, soft shadows with gradual fall-off, physically accurate penumbras, reflective specular highlights, and real-world color temperature variations. The temperature of the natural light maintains a cool daylight tone, while the artificial lighting casts a warm, elegant softness, creating a perfect contrast between the two that enhances the depth and visual dimensionality of the scene. In the center of this hyper-luxury environment stands a stunning object of cinematic importance, a photorealistic vehicle captured in its original manufacturer color, finished with ultra-high gloss, perfectly calibrated, clear coat paint that reflects the showroom environment with flawless clarity. The body panels reveal micro-textures in the paint, tiny metallic flakes catching stray light, producing realistic sparkle and depth. Every curve, edge, and contour of the vehicle is sharply defined and rendered with maximum precision. The reflections on the body are physically accurate, obeying the laws of real-world optics, showing clean, crisp mirror reflections of the marble flooring, the architectural glass panels, the surrounding ceiling lights, and even faint outlines of distant objects. The chrome accents on the exterior, grilles, trim pieces, exhaust tips, must look perfectly polished, exhibiting real-world imperfections such as microscopic swirls, faint smudges, and subtle tooling marks found on real metal surfaces. The tires present ultra-sharp treads with realistic rubber textures, including subtle wear marks, fine dust deposits, and natural distortions in the rubber pattern. The rims feature highly reflective metal or alloy surfaces, precise machining marks, and shadows cast within the spokes that change dynamically with the lighting angle. The brake rotors contain microscopic circular machining lines, realistic heat tinting, and detailed calipers modeled with accurate shadows and metallic texture. The glass windows of the vehicle show real-world behavior, slight tinting, micro-reflections, faint smudges, realistic refractions of the interior, and proper double-layer glass distortion. The interior of the environment is filled with three-dimensional atmospheric realism. Subtle environmental temperatures create nearly invisible waves of air movement captured in the lighting. Every object casts a soft but precise contact shadow on the marble floor, ensuring the scene feels grounded and physically coherent. The corners of the room show soft ambient occlusion, with gradual darkening where surfaces meet, reinforcing the sense of depth and realism. The entire space is free of noise, haze, or unreal artifacts. Everything appears crisp, sharp, and optically perfect. Expand the world beyond the car, filling the space with extremely detailed elements that enhance the realism without distracting from the main focus. Include luxury architectural furniture such as precise glass tables with beveled edges, chrome support structures, and reflections that follow physically accurate optical behavior. Add distant lighting fixtures designed with modern industrial precision, including brushed aluminum textures, realistic specular highlights, and accurate shadow casting from each component. The walls feature subtle micro-texture, revealing faint imperfections that occur in real painted surfaces. Every element should obey real-world material physics. Light interacts differently with matte surfaces than with glossy ones, and every texture, wood, metal, leather, glass, stone, must exhibit its own accurate reflection and shadow behavior. Enhance atmospheric depth by integrating realistic reflections from multiple angles. Add subtle indirect reflections on glass surfaces, faint environmental reflections on the car body, and physically correct shadow bounce from the environment. The entire atmosphere should feel breathable, dense with micro details that give long exposure photographic realism. Include faint lens distortions at the edges for ultra-cinematic immersion. The interior of the vehicle must be captured in extraordinary detail, with luxurious leather surfaces exhibiting realistic grain, natural wrinkles, hand-stitched seams, and multi-directional light reflections. The dashboard should showcase real-world materials such as brushed aluminum, polished carbon fiber, or soft-touch composites, each with unique reflective properties. Controls, buttons, and screens display micro-dust particles, finger smudge marks, and high-resolution graphics with accurate backlight diffusion. Seats should show natural compression, subtle texture changes, and proper shadow layering. Add ambient interior lighting that glows softly, illuminating the cabin with realistic fall-off. The steering wheel features visible stitching, textured surfaces, and perfect curvature. Metallic elements inside, knobs, paddle shifters, trim pieces, demonstrate real metal properties, including slight imperfections in machining and natural reflections. The engine bay is rendered with extreme clarity. Every component,